hey, Tom and Dave, maybe, four lines back together. We've been tinkering with it quite a bit. It's really responded to doing the valve job on the head and fixing the seals and the guide and all that stuff, you know. You know what? It's an old motor, it's had around a long time, but we're going to make a run here from 3,000 to 6,000. And I've already done it. I already know what the number is and stuff, but I want to have it on a CD so we have a record so we can see it besides just the printout. So I'm going to start it up and load the motor up pretty good, and then I'll let it do a normal accelerated sweep, and then we'll see how it comes out. I think everybody's going to be surprised. Okay, here we go. Start the thing up. Yeah, a little fast, but I don't know what that was. On the top on. Sounds good. Open the door in a minute, Mark, so we get a little sound over here. Good. Okay, Mark. Alright, here we go. Close the door. Get rid of the noise for the neighbors. They'll appreciate it. Here we go. I'm going to load it up slow. Because I'm getting so slow. Sometimes the throttle moves around a little bit. Check it really go more. To like 63, 6400, but we only recorded 6,000. So let's see what it made. Oh, not bad. It made 464 horsepower at 5,500. It made 490 foot-pounds of torque at 4,100. Oil pressure, the lowest it is 67 pounds at 3,000, and it's 80.7 at 6,000. Peak power is at 5,500, but it still runs at 6,000. You can see the power dropped off. It goes from 64 to 64 speed, 55, 62, and 455, 446, 441. So it's over. But I wanted to run it beyond the peak power so everybody could see that that's the power curve right there. It's a nice curve. The red lines are air fuel ratios. You can see that I've made a couple runs there. The double line, the bright one is the one we just finished. Let me turn the motor on. And by the way, it starts really nice. Okay, shut it off, turn it on. One more time, shut it off, turn it on. Idle's nice, starts nice. Okay, we'll turn the fuel pump and the water break off. But let's talk a little more here. This engine sat around for a long time. It was built originally by people in Canada. Don't know the shop, don't know who it is, it doesn't matter. It originally had too much end play. So we invested time and dropped the pan and changed the main bearing, hoping that would take care of it. But obviously, I wasn't satisfied. Well, then Tom gave me the authorization to remove the crankshaft, have it repaired, and at that time we changed the tip to crank and put rod bearing and main bearings in, and rear seal, front seal, and also at the request of prospective customer, he didn't want the Pete Jackson gear drive, so we went to a Cloy's double roller, the rear Cloy's, put that in. You know, I just went through the whole thing. And as we went along, we kept finding a little more things wrong with the motor. I'm dynoing and it starts to smoke a little bit out of the number one bank, and I look at it and it's got a busted seal. So I decided at that time it's better for us just to pull the heads off, inspect every guide, every valve, put new seals, put the new Vicron stuff on, the late model things we use today. We did all that. Well, obviously, it really helped with the valve job and clean this thing up, because it picked up like almost, 30 horsepower. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but really a lot. I mean, it makes 464 horsepower. That's a good piece. That's not bad. The non-corded cast iron head, performance head, 409. It's got big block rods in it with ARP bolts. It has Ross pistons in it, 10.5, 10.25, 1 compression. We took pan off. When we had it off, Dave asked for a new oil pump and pickup. So we did that. Found out that it had the long pump and pickup in it. It was like 1.5 inches, maybe a little more off the bottom of the pan. So we researched and found the correct pump and all that stuff, and also changed the drive rod. We changed the drive rod because the little sleeve that broke the roll pan off. I didn't want to mess with it, so I just bought, and they're a special length. The 409 is different than a big block or a small block, any of that stuff. So then we continue on. The carburetors needed work. I told the customer that they could do the carburetors themselves, but they elected to have us do the carburetors, so we did. We did the carburetors, and they work well. They're okay. We found that originally whoever bolted the carburetors on bolted along the wrong bolt pattern, and what I mean by that is one of the holes in the manifold went in through air. Well, so they have this 1/4 inch, 5/16 hole open to the outside. So somebody put some big monster jets in to compensate for it. Well, we found that, obviously we fixed that, and then the motor's rich, so we have to jet it down. So we continue on. Everything seems to be fine. We're running it. It has a Maori Unilite ignition in it. We're running it on just basic ignition, and I'm not happy with it. It's just one pass, one run it's okay, and then the next run it kind of intermittent. And so I had the ignition guy come over that does all my initial work, and he goes, well, let's hook it up to a CDI box. We hooked it up to a CDI box. Well, it made it better, but it still was weak. So I had him take the distributor and take the Unilite out and put an MSD pickup in it, a reluctor and all that, and recurve the distributor, and now you see the results. It's outstanding now. It runs well. I would stand behind it as a good running used engine. It's not a brand new motor. I'm kind of upset at myself because I had everything out of the motor except the pistons. I lifted the crank out, if I didn't realize I was going to have the heads off. If I would have had the heads off, I would have pulled the piston on home so much. But it doesn't smoke. It's got good leak down, it's got good compression, so we're okay. The motor never really had that much time on it. It's just that the guys that really worked on it were kind of like a bash squad. And it's interesting because it's got some nice parts in it. It's got an Isky roller cam, but now it's a true roller, so it doesn't make that blower noise, which that's fine. So we have to make sure that we always run an oil Joe Gibbs or Lucas or one of the ones that have the extra zinc and stuff in them that's been taken out, because if we don't, that chain will go away right away. But other than that, the thing's pretty awesome now. It's a good piece. Whoever buys this motor is going to be happy. It's going to be a good running deal. It's got a water leak on the front neck and needs a new rubber gasket, but I gotta quit spending money on this thing. That's something somebody could do. It's a little thing. It's not a big deal. Anyway, though, that's all I have to say about this thing right now. So, again, it made 464 horsepower. That's a pretty good deal. Let me see here. Put it up on the screen. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's a dyno sheet right there. We have printouts. We've got videos. What else could anybody ask for? Obviously, it sounds awesome at idle. It's got a nice cackle to it. And the headers on this motor is some that I bought because I had a 62 409 bubble top, and that's when we did that, so I could run my engine on dyno. These just dyno headers are really long on the, as far as the primary length from the head to the turn. You couldn't put them in the car. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. I'll be happy to talk to you. Okay, bye.